I hope you can read the numbers. I didn't keep them. This is number 4, 1, 3, 2. 4 is a little hard to see on one side, and 2 is hard to see on one side.
I feel like, I think one that's just really pretty complete and moderate and good movements. I think this is one that when we see her, you want to evaluate her individually and see that this is a good kind of effort that kind of starts to match all of our criteria that we like. Then we go into the number 2 heifer and see one that's really stout. She's got here on the outside. One that's got a lot of power up high. She maintains that power out to her hip. She's big bone, she's big belly. I think she's one that's even more extended out of her front end and maybe a little level there on the lower part of her body. Her chest blends in good there to her forehead and back into her flank. So you want to get her out and move pretty well, and then again has that little added extension and added look up front. Then we see that number 3 heifer. She's one that when we walk in, we see that one as being the big, tall framing heifer of the class. And like I was telling y'all outside, just because we're big doesn't mean that we're good. I think that you have to start looking past that. I think sure this one is the tallest heifer of the class. There's no doubt about that. But I think it's when you start studying her after that, she gets really narrow to the ground. And like I was telling y'all earlier in the cattle, that's where you can tell some true wit in these things. If they're really narrow to the ground, then they're going to be narrow up high. I think this will kind of follow suit. She's got a lot of height, a lot of frame, but she stands narrow to the ground. She gets lighter in her muscle pattern, especially out of her hip and her hocks. She wants to get there. She'll start touching those hocks together. It's what we call cow hocks whenever they start hocking in like that. And one, two that I can see have more capacity. She's got plenty of length, but I think she needs to be bolder sprung. She needs to be deeper back in there into her flank. But pretty nice and the end to her shoulder and up to her front end. Then the number 4 heifer, I think it's one too. It's probably has some size advantage of this class. But I think on a structural standpoint, we're going to start changing this one. Y'all really study the angles to her shoulder. I think she's a little far forward in it. You can tell that as she's moving, she'll stay down headed quite a bit. She's not really getting out the flexion out of her knee. She does the same thing out of her hip. I think she's a little straighter hind-legged. That correlates into how jacked up her tail head is and then how stiff moving her legs are when she gets out and goes. One that offers you some good shape and roundness after her muscle, and she's got some depth to her rib. I think on a balance standpoint, or structural standpoint, is where you're going to want to start changing that one at. So going through and placing or talking these individually, I think y'all can see pretty quick. There's 2 in here that I like that I think need to go up, and then there's 2 that I think need to go to the bottom. And really within those pairs, there may be a little give and take, but I think it's pretty cut and dry on the top. I like the 2 heifer to win. I like the 1 heifer to go second. We're going to follow her with the big 3 heifer, and we're going to round out with the 4 heifer. We're going to cut this class. We're going to cut 3 on top, 5 in the middle, and 2 in the bottom.